na kwa utamaduni wetu tumekuwa tunafutari aina tofauti. Nami nimeona ni vyema nitumie fursa hii kualika ndugu zangu na kundi la walemavu katika mkoa wa Dar es Salaam siku ya Jumaa tarehe 31 katika ukumbi wa Diamond. Lakini siku hiyo haitakuwa tu futari. Watu wote mashuhuri unaowafahamu, watangazaji, wasanii na viongozi na wacheza mpira ndio watakuwa siku hiyo wakiwahudumia ndugu zangu walemavu. Na tutaishia hapo tu. Kila mtu mashuhuri nimemuomba atakuja na zawadi maalumu ya kukabidhi wewe ndugu yangu mlemavu. Lengo ni moja tu, kuonyesha thamani na upendo mkubwa ambao ndio msingi wa maendeleo ya mkoa wetu. Nafanya hivyo kumwenzi mzee wangu Reginald Mengi kwa mema mengi mazuri aliyofanya ndani ya mji wa Dar es Salaam. Karibu tufutari wote kwa pamoja. Upendo ndio msingi wa mkoa wetu.
In Capital News tonight, the Ministry of Energy asks Parliament to approve 2.14 trillion shilling budget. Public workers in the DRC continue to strike if not paid. More skills and talents showcased in this year's UMISETA competitions. And good evening. This is Capital News at 9:30. My name is Vanessa Victor. Let's get started with the national news. The Minister of Energy, Dr. Medad Kalemani, has asked the Parliament of Tanzania to approve a 2.14 trillion shilling budget for the coming 2019-2020 financial year, with 95.1% of the local funds directed to complete 3 strategic plans, including the 2,115 megawatt electricity production project at Lake Rufiji that will cost 1.44 trillion shillings.
Katika mwaka 2019 na 20.
In 2019-2020, Ministry of Energy will work on key areas, including increasing electricity production to megawatt 10,000 by 2025. This will be achieved from big projects such as the Rufiji Waterfall project, whereby 2,115 megawatts is expected to be generated, and in Kinyerezi 185 megawatts, as well as other projects.
Fedha za REA kwa mujibu wa katiba na taratibu zetu tulizoziwekea ziko.
REA financing, according to the law and set regulations, is in ring fence. Once the Parliament approves, then the entire amount must be released. But there has been a common practice for the whole amount not to be released.
On their part, other members of Parliament have urged the government to set strategies in distribution of electricity through TANESCO, including ensuring that the company's debts are paid, especially those owed by government institutions, so as to help implement its responsibilities, especially at this time.
Kuna kila sababu ya kubadilisha utaratibu.
There is a need to change the procedure, either for other companies to be brought in so as to bring in competition.
Tunayazungumza yatakuwa yanabaki kwenye karatasi.
President Dr. John Pombe Magufuli has today completed his state visit by visiting the graves of freedom fighters as well as Meatco, a meat processing factory in Katutura, Namibia, so as to observe the level of investment in the factory, which has the capacity to slaughter over 600 cows a day. After completing his visit in Namibia, President Magufuli also has arrived in Zimbabwe for another state visit after receiving an invitation from President Emmerson Mnangagwa.
I think it's important that we in Africa working together, and there's definitely working opportunities for us working with Tanzania, and especially in our industry. And from NEWS.MAY side, we can offer a lot of knowledge that we can assist and help our counterpart. So yes, there's definitely opportunities for us. I think on government level, they need to make decisions on how we're going to work together. But I believe there's definitely opportunity for both the two countries to work together.
Ndani ya hili tamko la pamoja tumesisitiza mambo muhimu yaliyokubaliwa.
We have insisted on adherence of things that have been agreed upon, including calling a cooperation meeting between Namibia and Tanzania in August this year in Dar es Salaam. The aim of the meeting is to discuss 6 cooperation contracts that were prepared by Tanzania. The last meeting was held 20 years ago. Among the things that we have agreed so far is Tanzania to open an embassy in Namibia, cooperate in fisheries and livestock projects where President John Pombe Magufuli has managed to visit meat processing factory called Mitco, which is owned by the government of Namibia, and also agreed upon teaching of Kiswahili subjects in primary and secondary schools where Tanzania is ready to facilitate the exercise.
Leo Mheshimiwa Rais alipata nafasi ya kutembelea kiwanda cha nyama cha Mitco ambacho kinamilikiwa na serikali ya Namibia.
Over 100 cargo lorries transporting various goods from neighboring Kenya through the Namanga border in Arusha region have been stranded there after an increase in cargo charges by the Weights and Measures Agency that do not follow the law.
We want to say plainly that we are not ready to work with the WMA Namanga agents until they get back to using their own regulations. When they go back to using 0.2% per FOB or 1,000, whichever is higher. When they get back to that, we will work together. Unless otherwise, they bring a law where the changes will be 0.2% per FOB, but for per item. If you have 1 kilogram of sugar, or 2 kilograms, or 3 kilograms in the government documents, 5 kilograms of sugar, 10 kilograms, or 50 kilograms currently, then you have to pay 100,000 shillings per every kilo. Sometimes you have a document with 50 kinds of sugar, and you will be supposed to pay 10 times 100,000 shillings, which is 1 million shillings. The law doesn't allow for this. The cargo that I have has different flavors, so if they want to be paid that much, it will not be possible, and the products will expire. I would like to ask the government to interfere in this issue as soon as possible.
Air taxi drivers, also Tegeta resident Musa Twalib, has been taken before Kisutu Resident Magistrate Court in Dar es Salaam to face charges of economic sabotage. These include accessory to crime, laundering a sum of 8 million shillings, as well as the kidnapping of Mohammed Dewji.
The charges against him were read before the resident chief magistrate, Huruma Shahidi, with the state represented by the chief prosecutor, Paul Kadushi, and the prosecutor, Wankyo Simon. Prosecutor Kadushi claimed that between May 1st and October 10th, 2018, in different places of Dar es Salaam and Johannesburg, South Africa, the accused helped in the kidnapping of the wealthy businessman Mo Dewji so that he could obtain a huge sum of money. The second charge that has been leveled against the accused claims that on October 11th last year, at the Colosseum Hotel in Kinondoni District, Dar es Salaam, he, together with his co-conspirators who were not in the courtroom, kidnapped Mo with the intention of hiding him. According to Section 249 of the Penal Code Regulations number 16, which was amended in 2002 and which was used to open a charge of kidnapping against the accused, he will be sentenced to 7 years in jail if found guilty of the charge. Prosecutor Wankyo Simon said that, with respect to the third charge, it is claimed that on July 10th, 2018, in Mbezi Beach area, Kinondoni District, Dar es Salaam, the accused laundered an amount of 8 million shillings, even though he knew that the money was the product of his involvement in the kidnapping. Magistrate Huruma Shaidi said that the accused was not required to give an answer to anything because her court did not have the jurisdiction to preside over such a case. Prosecutor Kadushi claimed that a significant part of the investigations into the case are complete. They are currently focused on a few areas so that the case can begin to be heard with witnesses giving their testimony.
And 3 members of Chadema, which include a former minister of the Fifth Phase government, as well as Singida North MP Lazaro Nyalandu, David Jumbe, and Itaja Ward Chairman Peter Mwangu, have been released after being detained overnight. Speaking after their release, Lazaro Nyalandu said that the 2020 general elections will not be as simple for all parties, and also denied that there were any incidents of bribery during their meeting.
2020 elections will not be easy for any political party in the country. If I was to advise CCM, I could have told them to try to be close to their party members and even register their party members just like how we were doing right now, where we are registering Chadema party members throughout the country. This exercise has been depicted differently, where since 2 p.m. yesterday, when we were arrested for corruption allegations and released from bail today at 12 p.m. Amthamini initiative on its 3rd year is aiming at reaching 5,000 students.
Tanzania Bus Owners Association TABOA has directed all bus owners not to carry any passengers with luggage placed in plastic bags by June the 2nd, so as to implement the Vice President's directive and the environment laws that will begin to be implemented on June the 1st of this year.
I am calling on passengers from 1st of June this year while boarding buses to upcountry. They should not come with plastic bags because that is disobeying government's directive. And as bus officials, we shall not accept passengers who will come with plastic bags. The government has introduced a very good ban for the well-being of the nation and its people. I commend the government for such a wonderful directive. These bags are bad for us. They have been contributing in disturbing drainage systems. There are a lot of plastic bags in the ocean. Again, it is a great opportunity for entrepreneurs in the country to come up with alternative bags like paper bags and so forth. We are not sure if they will extend the date of commencement of the ban, because there are just few days left. However, there are no plastic bags. Chinese people have come to collect their bags. We don't know what they want to do with the bags, and if the bags will be returned again in the market, we have absolutely no idea.
And over 300 acres of maize farms belonging to small-scale farmers in villages of Handeni district in Tanga region have been eaten and destroyed by armyworms from March to May of this year.
There have been some damages to crops in the Handeni district due to the invasion of caterpillars. In the wards where we have visited to check their farms, between March and May, about 300 acres have been affected by the insects, as you can see this plant. So the farms have been affected, and this is because of the invasion of caterpillars. These are the pesticides that can hinder the invasion when there are certain signs. But if the signs are severe, we do not tell the farmer to leave his farm. No, there are pesticides that have been mentioned that can work effectively if the insect pests have invaded like this.
With
the training that we have received, we are now able to know the right pesticides that can be used to destroy all the caterpillars, while also providing the awareness to farmers on the right sorts of pesticides to use. In addition, we can provide advice to farmers on the perfect pesticides to use, which can help in rescuing the expenses incurred where a farmer could use more, but also avoiding losses to the farmers themselves.
In the Council of Representatives meeting in Zanzibar during the question and answer session, the Minister of Health, Hamad Rashid, has said that the government has burnt over 2,000 tons of substandard goods and revoked the business licenses of 39 entrepreneurs that broke the laws of importation and sale of food and cosmetic products in the country. The Council has also approved the 17.2 billion budget estimates and expenditures of the Ministry of Labour, Youth, Women and Children Development, with the Ministry of Education beginning to deliver their budget estimates.
I would like to say that the ministry is determined to ensure that each drink and foodstuff which is obtained on the aisles, that is produced both inside or is coming from outside Zanzibar, is of a high standard. Also, I would like to say that 39 licenses have been given to businessmen. And with regards to other businessmen, I would like to say that the ministry has urged them to amend their licenses. I must add that once the businessmen have done this, they will be restored to the normal procedure which usually governs such matters. I would like to say that up to April this year, we have reviewed 4 laws. I must say that these laws are the law of employment, the law of working relations, and the law of people with disabilities, PWA. I would like to add that what remains now is for these amended laws to be sent to relevant authorities, which will do the needful before these laws can be presented to the government.
That's all for national news. International news is next. And in international news, government employees in the Democratic Republic of Congo have asked the new president to pay their salaries, which they have not received for 10 years, or else they will continue with the strike until they are paid.
We've been in North Kivu for 7 years. Some of our colleagues have not been paid for 10 years. They've been asking us to be patient, but we are now tired. We've decided today to demonstrate, all of us. They use us, yet we don't get any pay.
Civil society organizations in Kenya, as well as their leaders, have accused of an increase in incidents of rape and murder of women in Kenya. According to the societies, 40 women have been killed in terrifying circumstances and others raped.
Including femicide. This protection includes enactment of comprehensive legislation and policy, expedient review and amendment of existing legislation, implementation of existing legislation, effective multi-sectorial service delivery, creation and implementation of safe reporting mechanisms for SGBV occurrences and threats, rapid rescue response services, respectful, efficient and quality SGBV data collection and use, allocation of resources for SGBV prevention, investigation, prosecution, as well as physical and psychosocial support for survivors.
To be going to Madaraka, but for the women of Kenya and girls, we are saying not yet Madaraka. And why we are saying not yet Madaraka? Because from 1st of January to May, we have lost more than 40 women. 40 women is such a huge number. If it was a national disaster, by now we would have had the president speak about it. We've had the CS Interior, which is really the national security, speak about it. When we have cases of accidents in this country, about 20, we see them declared a national disaster.
And with the ongoing distrust between Rwanda and Uganda on the safety, Rwanda has asked Uganda to release Rwandans that have been jailed in Uganda's prisons.
You've done well to bring back the body of one of our citizens, but it would have been better if you released the rest of our prisoners imprisoned in your country. We expect to sit with the government of Rwanda so we can resolve our differences. At the end of the day, we are brothers and sisters. We don't like to see us fighting against each other.
That's all for international news. We'll be back with business news after this break.
Watch Business Edition as we talk to business leaders and experts in sectors that are transforming Tanzania's economy.
To be rich, I have to be a business person.
It's not an easy road at all.
People need to understand. You must quickly think, how cost effective are you going to be?
Business acts as a way in which it can bridge that gap.
Business Edition will keep you informed on latest developments in the financial sector, extractive industry, tourism, agriculture, energy, construction, and so much more. Meet entrepreneurs who create employment opportunities. Watch Business Edition on Friday at 8:15 p.m.
Welcome back, and in business news. The Minister of Investment, Angela Kairuki, has directed government institutions to have similar responsibilities in overseeing quality standards to reduce impediments to entrepreneurs within the country.
Na hasa ukiangalia zaidi ya asilimia 97.
More than 97% of jobs come from the private sector, but even in manufacturing sector, a large percentage is privately owned. So you can see the magnitude of which the private contributes. That's why, as the government, the private sector is supervised under the Prime Minister's office.
Usimamizi wa maendeleo ya sekta binafsi uko chini ya ofisi ya Waziri Mkuu, na tumekuwa tukifanya hivyo.
There's a few things that we focused on which are of real importance. In Tanzania, the private sector is dominant in the economy. Jobs in Tanzania come from the private sector. 97% of jobs come from the private sector. And the growth of the private sector is important for every single Tanzania, especially those 1 million young women and men that are entering the labor force every year. So, and right at the heart of an effective private sector.
Kwamba hivi vitu vyote ambavyo vimo katika ile.
If everything in the blueprint is implemented, then we are confident that our economy will benefit, and there will be an increase in revenue too for the people and the government.
Kazi zitakuwa nyingi zaidi.
Middle and small-scale entrepreneurs from Mtwara, Lindi and Ruvuma have said that not having international goods production systems is one of the reasons contributing to goods being produced in the country's inability to break through international markets and thus not having reliable markets.
I work for a certain coffee company whereby finding a market for a product is a big challenge, because we have not met some of the international standards required.
Lakini tunachohimiza wasikate tamaa.
We encourage them not to give up. Once they meet the requirements set and be certified, then they will avoid producing products that are below standard.
Ina ubora hafifu.
Residents of Katavi have begun to benefit from high-speed internet from mobile company Tigo Tanzania after the service was launched in Mpanda district.
Mobile phone technology. The satellite launched here today has many benefits, which will upgrade this technology from 3G to 4G, which will increase the speed of communication. Communication has many advantages. All of us know that without communication, there is no information. To relay information, you must communicate. The 4G technology has more speed, which has made life easier and is also affordable.
That's all for business. Sports is next.
Hi, my name is Kotaro Tokuda.
What's up? My name is Sean Garnier.
I'm John Barnes from Liverpool Football Club. The hip hop, a hip it, the hip it, the hip hop. You don't stop the rockin' to the bang bang boogie. Say up, jump the boogie to the rhythm of the boogie to beat. Now what you hear?
I'm watching Sports Gazette.
I'm watching Sport Gazette.
And you're watching Sports Gazette
with Sebastian.
With Sebastian. Peace out.
Yes! And you can also watch Sports Gazette for highlights and interviews regarding sports. Do not miss Sports Gazette every Wednesday at 7 p.m. only on Capital Television.
And in sports. The secondary schools competition for Dar es Salaam has reached the second day with higher talent and skills being showcased in comparison to last year.
A lot of youngsters have had talents. Now when you're doing a selection of getting a few players, it becomes tough. For instance, in soccer, 11 players are needed, or 15. Now there are 5 teams. To get the 15 or 16 players, while all of them are talented, becomes a huge challenge.
Gennaro Gattuso has announced that he is leaving his role as Milan's head coach. Here is more.
Champions League qualification on Sunday despite a season-ending 3-2 victory against Spal. Gattuso, whose contract runs until 2021, has confirmed he's leaving the club, and the former Milan midfielder will not be taking any compensation. Deciding to leave Milan's bench is not easy, but it's a decision I had to make, he said, according to Repubblica. Gattuso took the role in November 2017 after a spell as a youth team coach. Milan's 5th-placed finish in Serie A this season was their highest since the 2012-2013 campaign.
Harry Kane has made it plain that he will be fit for the Champions League final against Liverpool on Saturday, going so far as to say that if the game were tomorrow, he would be available.
Against Manchester City on 9th of April. It was the 5th time in 3 seasons Kane had damaged ankle ligaments. Previously, the England captain has been out for between 3 and 7 weeks with the problems. Kane returned to full training last Friday, and assuming all goes well, he hopes to be in Mauricio Pochettino's starting 11 for Madrid.
Florentino Perez has said it would be impossible to allow Sergio Ramos to leave Real Madrid for free after claiming the defenders told him of an attractive offer from a Chinese Super League club.
On overseas players, and if the 33-year-old left to join the named club, he would have to leave for free. Perez told the radio station Onda Cero he had spoken with the club captain about the offer. Sergio Ramos has not been in my house, nor I in his. They came to see me at the office, Real's president said. Ramos, who has been with Real since 2005, is said to be determined to leave following a falling out with Perez over the Champions League defeat by Ajax.
Ends our news bulletin. My name is Vanessa Victor. Thank you for watching and have a good night.
If